Good evening, my dear people. Ndị Igbo ibe m. I know that every quarter of Igbo land people are like thinking what next is going to happen after they have arrested Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, it's not very often that you see Pope come out in his regalia. When you see Pope in his regalia, that means a lot is following it. The capture or the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu is not the end of the agitation. It is the beginning of the agitation. I would say this is the beginning of the end. It is not wrong for anybody to agitate for freedom. Although, yes, Nnamdi Kanu may make some utterances which all may believe is not right. But when you are a freedom fighter, you do not mind what you say to make sure you get freedom for your people. Dear Igbos, I want you to understand that even the Israelites, the Israel you see today, there was a time they were under pressure fighting for freedom, even from Egypt. They thought Moses would take them to the promised land. Moses took them halfway and he died. Then Aaron continued from there. Aaron did not take them, he took them here to the promised land, as it is said. But the struggle continues for their freedom. Even up to the time of Jesus, the Israelis were still under the Romans. During the time of Samson, they were ruled by the Philistines. And we are told even Samson fought. Samson became the strongest man. He even fought, he killed the Philistines and whatever. Israel was not free. When Samson died, the Israel, their hope was dashed. But all the prophets didn't give up. They continued and said, Israel must be free. And most of the prophets, they prayed for God to keep them to see the freedom of Israel. Then comes the time of the kings. We have Saul. Saul was even told to destroy the Amalekites, to destroy all of them. But when he got there, he saw beautiful women. He took some in marriage, and God was angry with him. That's why he removed him and put David. And then David fought. David managed to establish the Israel you know today. So there is a David for Ndibo. This is not the time to give up hope. This is the time, the beginning of our freedom. I don't see anything wrong in somebody say that I am tired of living in an unjust society, just like we are living in Nigeria. Today, Nnamdi Kanu was arrested. And today again, members of the Boko Haram, who are supposed to be terrorists, the killer Boko Haram, were released. So where is the justice? The people who arrested Nnamdi Kanu are people who are supposed to be in prison themselves. These are people with one criminal offense or the other. But that is not justified. After all, Pilate that judged Jesus was not even clean. Herod that judged Jesus was not even clean. So Nnamdi Kanu arrest is not the end of the agitation. It is the beginning of the freedom of the Igbo nation. Even if they call us the dot in the middle of a circle, we don't mind. Israel is in the middle of nowhere. Burundi is in the middle of nowhere. Lesotho, Swaziland, even Eritrea, they are in the middle of nowhere. But yes, all these nations, they thrive. We can take Israel, for instance. Israel is in Asia, but they don't belong to Asia. That is why Israel is counted as an European country. So the same thing with Biafra. Even if they don't count us as Nigerians, even if they don't count us to be part of them, even if we don't have bilateral agreement with them, we can stand on our own. Igbos can stand as a nation. At the same time, the Yorubas can stand. We can have alliance with the Yoruba nation. So the APC government and all their allies, they even installed their allied to bomb Imo State. You see, one mistake they make, they thought, our president, his brain is still telling him that he's still in the 70s. Yes, January 29, 1970, well, I say the capturing of Imo State, a short that marks the end of Biafra. He thought that by entering Imo State and destroying Imo State, or by using somebody to steal democracy in Imo State, and then by killing people and youths along the road, will mark the end of the agitation. No, it is the beginning of it. And one mistake they are also making is that thinking that if they bring all his people in at the middle of Igbo land, that will solve the problem. No, he is as well massacring his people, because it is not long. It gets hard that we find a solution. Capturing of Nnamdi Kanu today also helped to beef up the protest we had on Friday, where we are calling on the international world to look into the killing and the genocide happening in Nigeria. I think Nnamdi Kanu is like somebody who ran away with a pot full of bees. So now he is going to draw all international attention to Nigeria, and most especially in Igbo land. They will see the atrocities that Nigerians government, the soldiers with their Boko Haram infiltrated army are doing in Igbo land. So I think this will be an eye-opener for the whole world to see the justice the Igbos are calling for. I know they are not going to do anything to Nnamdi Kanu, and even if they do, that is even the worst, because Nigerian human rights record is now on international attention. So my people, I am calling on all Igbos, anywhere you are, all around the world, anywhere you are. This is the time to stand strong. Don't give up. Remember, when the Israelites were leaving Egypt, there were still some Israelis who were missing the cucumber and the onions they were eating in Egypt. So those politicians you see now that are busy doing their campaign, trying to be governors and doing their political nonsense they are doing, they are among those we can count as those that are still missing their cucumber in Egypt. And I wonder what will happen when it is finally confirmed that a nation that has been crying for self-reliance for 50 years after the war, and 100 years, over 100 years after unjust marriage, that when the nation is finally free, I wonder what will happen for those who are crying for onions and cucumber. They are still our brothers. We will still integrate them into the society, because we know that they are like chameleon. They have no political agenda. They have no political principle. That is why you see them, the one in APC today will jump over to PDP, and the one in PDP today will jump over to AD, and that like that. They are like chameleons. They jump around just looking for where their stomach will be fed. None of them has any political policy. They don't have any political agenda for the Igbos. So all those people you see clamoring, giving you money to vote for them, look at them very well. They are chameleons, because people who know what they are going for, those who have program, those who have policy, they don't jump around. Those of them that don't jump around, look at them very well. You see, they are very few. Maybe they have been in PDP since PDP started, and they are firm there. No matter what happened, they remain firm, strong on the PDP, because one, they have what? They have a manifesto they want to fulfill. But those of them that are being blown around like the wind, the feathers, you see them everywhere in all our House of Assembly, House of Senate. Today they are in this party, they jump over to the other party. They don't have any plan for the people. Instead, they are jumping around for their own liturgy of the stomach. That's what I'll call it. Their self-ego. Those ones, they don't have any policy for the people. Igbos, I call on you again. Even the Yoruba nation, I call on you again. Stand firm on what you believe on. One day, the Igbos will be emancipated. Our emancipation is here. So don't give up. They catch one Nnamdi Kanu. We have more than 1,000 Nnamdi Kanu out there who are ready to continue the journey. Aaron died. Then we come to the time of the judges. Then we come to the poem of the prophets and all the rest of them. Jesus even died. The apostles thought that, well, the hope of freedom is dead. But no, Israelites at the end of the day became a nation. One day, Igbos will become a nation. Don't give up hope. Kemesia.